Hey, welcome back to this podcast. I am Unique Dub, your hostess, and I am here with Miss Tarsha.
Take her friend.
Yeah, she referenced.
You see it everywhere. I don't care where I'm at. I'm always supervised Southern University today.
TV,
Ah,
you know. HBCU love.
that's
So we gonna
it. That's
get
it.
it,
Nobody
okay?
else has business, y'all.
So we are here to talk about AI. And so we are discussing the change in motherhood. So
Yeah.
we both have daughters. I have a daughter. She has 3. And man, okay, so we know how we
Yeah.
right? So now we're actually, I guess you could say, trying to change it just a tad bit to accommodate the change in the time with our kids.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I can say I recall is I grew up with a single mother. I have a huge family. And like I was picked on and bullied, and I was picked on and bullied throughout school. And I experienced some things with the relationship with my mom that I felt like with my daughter I didn't want to continue, right?
Yeah.
And so
I see why we gravitate
mhm,
other than just and competition and time.
mhm.
Because I was the kid that played there.
Yeah, and I was the same. But then when they bullied
gravitated
me,
to
I
that.
still was pretty.
Yeah. I didn't have bullying per se. Because my mouth was always slick. Always.
It was like, oh,
It was more bark than bite. They just didn't have a.
okay.
So, but I always gravitated to the kids that everybody picked on. Come on, you gonna be. This is.
Yeah, I was the same, but I also was picked on, but I was overlooked. So nobody knew the pain I was going through. You know, because it was almost like I didn't want them to get hurt for hurting me. And I realized that was the wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
But I never understood that that's how
Right.
it was until as I got older, I was like, that didn't make any sense. Yeah. So you innocent. You just, you being
And then as a mothers back then, the 70s and 80s, they was going to work.
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah. That's true.
They were working. So they didn't, we didn't feel comfortable enough to voice it. Like, say, things different. All of my children can voice it, no matter how painful it may have been to tell mama, we're going to figure it out.
I think that was, that was the hard part for me. And so I grew up, I have an older brother, and sometimes we weren't always the same time. Like sometimes he was at my grandmother's or with my uncles. So when I look at me now being a mother, I want to I spend more time communicating and talking to my mother. Because I feel like that was one of the issues I had was that was lacking in parenting back in the day. It was do as I say, don't ask questions, stay at a child's place.
I think I still hate that phrase, do as I say. But I don't lie to like.
But you never know that actually could be setting you up for failure because there's no explanation as to why it's
exactly. That. Yeah, it's not disrespectful just to give them a hey, you can't do that right now. But to them, it was so disrespectful to ask for the question.
I feel like for me, it disregarded my feelings as a child because even though I'm a child, I'm still a human being with a brain that comprehends.
Girl, but don't think we were there for change TV.
We were the remote. Like, hey, go pour me a glass of water.
Yeah, go
turn the light out.
Right there. I think that's why I was
okay, I don't want no force.
Yeah, what she did after learning her history, my grandma, my great grandmother's history. I understand some of the reasons, but I think it's now that you know these feelings. I may be 49, but I'm still that 10-year-old child inside. So acknowledge what we're doing and let's talk about it forward. And I think that's one thing I made sure I do for the hate.
Yeah,
I make you feel this way. Yeah. What can we do to get past it? Whereas I'm a still shoot 70 December and still stuck in her way.
Yeah. Like they'll still say something, be like, well, I said what I said. Okay. I think I love it. Even with jazz, I'm like that though. I like to be able to say, hey, you know what, I apologize. Or hey, am I doing too much or not enough? By giving you what you need. And so I think that's what
understand, but it's something I can do with it. What do
The attitude tone of voice.
Yeah. I like that I went out to instead of taking Chuck E. Cheese. What can I do to be better? And let's go.
Do you ever think, since you say you have, since I know you have 3 girls, do you ever notice the difference in parenting? Because the first one was like trial and error. The second one was I learned from the first one.
I learned and I got kicked out. Third child and beyond, you really don't care. As long as they're not bleeding and cutting themselves, like you really don't. Like my older daughter gets highly pissed off now. She feels like telling you like everything. But at the end of the day, Taylor did not get the private school like you got. Because I was still with our daddy. I left Taylor with Taylor got the struggle me, which she should have struggled financially. Treasure got the this treasure here. Treasure got the financially stable parent household. Me. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's totally different. And there are 3 different. I tell people all the time. There are 3 different personalities. There are 3 different. They tend to say Tierra is my favorite, but Tierra is my child that needs a little more nurture, a little more guidance. I have to really watch my say children shell. Okay. She dealt with it, and we didn't find out until she was time. And her thing was, I didn't want you to be in trouble because I know you would have posted shit up. I was like, yeah. Like I tell Dad that all the time. So she didn't say anything to protect me when she was hurting inside. Yeah. So I try to make sure, hey, mommy's gonna be okay. Just tell me so I can fix it.
I'm here because I have friends. Most of my friends have multiple children, and so even my grandmother with her 5 kids, she says, "I love all 5 of them differently, but I love them all the same because they're all my children, but they all needed something different." Yep, and then at the time she had each one of them, it was a different version of who she was. Yep. So it's not saying that you treated them differently. You learned something that you tried to change if it was something bad or even if it was something good, more of or less of.
The 9th or college student. Okay. So yeah, especially was on Southern campus with her Southern cheerleader outfit off. Everyone. Yeah. Then I got married. So I was married, and that's when I found the Lord, like he was lost. When by the time Tierra got here, that was it. And then by the time Tierra got here, I was leaving. I was divorced. I was survivor course. I'm getting out of here because this marriage is not working. So I'm not raising children in a toxic home. So I'm getting out and I'm surviving. Remember, I man for 8, Taylor 1, so I'm free now. I can get out and go like meet with people. So yeah, they got 3 versions of me, and it was. I tell people all the time. I raised them with old morals with a touch of current events. Okay. Because I still want them to have morals and values. But I also had to remember the times everybody's parents didn't parent like me. Like my children couldn't be like that. Right. I'd rather have a whole living full of other people than to have my children because everybody's not like me. Yeah. I'm gonna be in the living room with y'all while y'all incorporate what's going on. Well, okay, we all want to see that.
You're taking part in it because a lot of times, like even with Dad, I was telling me and my best friend was talking. We talk every day now. But her daughter and Jasmine's other friends, they all spent a week at like a house with 17 acres. Ain't be out of house of her. Yep. Maybe they played board games, played on the Wii, watched karaoke. Yeah. And they were like kids. Literally the first 3 or 4 days, they wouldn't even on their cell phone. Exactly. And eventually they were like, they in the room, laid out, trundle bed, rolled out or whatever. And I feel like me being involved in the conversation, it made them comfortable to express stuff that even the parents was like, well, they can create the safe space for our girls. And I also say too, I'm glad I don't have a man in the home because that's something that as a mother, you don't even have to think about what if. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. For those that don't know that I'm going to have that conversation because I've been a child that's
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
and my hurt came from family member, so I always asked. And then I also made it when I was married, made it safe for him. So the girls would always have people. They turn 9 or 10, they among us people, all the girls in their class, everybody's family. But I would have it. I would have it because I had heard when my husband at the time was working. Right. But that was to protect him.
Right.
And us. Because I didn't want anything to say anyone did anything. And just in case I didn't know that was my husband, but I still don't know. So I'm protected because I was hurt. So I'm in protect mode.
Right.
By the time Sierra came along, it's time for hers. We were before, but the guy I was dating, they knew, okay, the girl's gone every other weekend. So I had her sleep over the weekend that she was with me. Yeah. So I'm in protect mode because that's what I do. That's as a mother, that's what we do. That's motherly instinct to protect.
But I'm gonna be honest, since we're talking about mothers, not all mothers think like we. Now the goal is that we are mindful of you just bring any and everybody in your home, even sometimes it's a girlfriend. So
I had a raised man, so I knew then okay.
You can't come back. Okay. So I think too, as you said, as you're raising your children and the times are changing and the things that you're trying to do with them, even now when I think about uh experiences with Jasmine, sometimes I tell her stuff and then as we're talking to other people, they be like, "Oh, your mama love you," and she'll smile. And she'll say, "You know what, I'm glad I don't have social media active."
Really? So Jasmine has social media.
I control everything on her phone. I have a parent app that I control everything on her phone. And so we just got her.
One thing I wish I would have given Sierra my little child social media.
So she just got
it because she followed.
But no, Jazz says she has the 50-50. She says sometimes I feel like I'm missing out on things, and then when I look, she goes,
right.
She says because I'll tell her you probably have more than what most kids have that you hang out with. And it's not to brag, but just so you know, I'm going to make sure you have what you want to need, exactly. That you're not longing for something elsewhere. And if oftentimes I'm in her face, like we literally laid out, hugged up, cackling, tickling, laughing at comedy. We love comedy. Yeah, we crack jokes on each, crack jokes on me. So I love humor, so I love it. But think
that's a good thing, y'all, that you still allow her to have that space.
Yeah,
because when Tarsha comes in for time, that's what she's getting to. Yeah, and she'll be 30.
Yeah, she'll lay up under me and we sit there and be like, "Girl, that was funny." Yeah. And I also talk about how I give her freedom to express herself in certain capacities. Like if it's a joke and she knows the joke and the joke has a cuss word in it, she goes, "Mama, can I tell it? Can I say it? I know you ain't being disrespectful."
Right.
Or if she says, I'm frustrated with something and I ask her, "What's the intensity of your frustration?" And I say, "You need to cuss past." She says, "No, not this time." Okay. But if she needs to, she go, "Can I say it?" That shit pissed me off.
right.
I'm like, okay, cool. Because she's learning the respect space. Yeah. And so I remember having those conversations with my grandmother. I would be telling her something that happened. I'm like, that. And I was like, that nigga was like, my grandma was like, just say the word. This cuss word didn't say. So eventually, and I'm in my 30s when this first started. I'm 40 now. My grandmother would say that, and I'd be like, oh. And so my mama was like, I'm like, yeah, she says, I'm say it there. If you and my mama got that respect, then I know that there's a respect for me there. So now, even when I was married at the time, my ex-husband like, I can't believe your mom never let you talk like that. I was like, because I'm not cursing them. I'm not disrespecting them. And if I'm telling them a story that requires profanity, that I said X, Y, and Z, or this happened, this, they're gonna say, oh, that's what happened. Okay. But I ain't be like big.
But I'm Harvard now.
Yeah.
I don't when it as far as conversation. I don't if it comes up. Yeah. It's nothing towards her. I would never curse her per se. But that how I was at one point in time, not saying anything.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like now I don't have to have that fear. Yeah. But so I teach Jasmine, she'll say, "Oh girl, can I get a cuss pass?" Every now and then it's that slip up. And it'd be like shit. I'd be like, hush. I mean,
yeah. But I love it though, because at least she knows how to respect. You give her something to respect. So it's not a bad thing. It's a word. We put the connotations on it. We put the energy on the word like that. That gives it that type of energy. So let's try first. I'd rather her curse and get it out and have the bop.
So I mean, I even asked her, like, I could see the text messages between her friends. I said, I can't even get mad at you texting a conversation and be like, like my mama pissed. Like, you know, when we were kids, behind her mama back that bitch made me mad. long as you ain't saying it to my face, we straight. Because you
Girl.
venting your frustration.
I-
But now if you let your friends get disrespectful,
Oh,
now at that point I draw the line.
these girls have we have a family chat. Then we have a chat. Then girls, they have a chat. So it usually starts off, let me tell you about your mom. See, so
Look, what they mad at
the
you.
man is your mom.
Okay.
Yeah, so I get that. But I can't because they too old now. I can't see out, but I'm today. They want to trade me in.
Bleep,
But
bleep, bleep,
then
bleep,
they
bleep.
realize everything I okay. When they 19, it's it's about them. It wasn't more for me. And that's just the mother me. Now, the downside is I did not balance to have me time. So once they got older, now they understand. I spent 2 weeks a week. Trevor lived with that. She was upset that I wasn't. You
Wait
need
a
to go
minute.
home.
Wait a minute.
Wait, what? What?
Wow.
Why? Because not easy access to me like it.
Yeah.
So
You were
that's
too
what
far.
I'll tell anybody. Still need their me time as a mother. And that's what I didn't have balance. I didn't date anyone seriously until
Yeah.
and I separated from them. So that was a huge
It was like, who is this? What are you doing?
What?
Yeah.
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 It was to the point it was like, okay, I'm gonna do things with kids and then I'm gonna do things because doing things together is not going. You know, which in the end, he wasn't the one for me anyway, but that's still something I wanted to explore. And had I incorporated people in, had I had more me time situations, had I had balance, then it wouldn't have been such a problem. But my biggest thing was I didn't feel like I was a priority. So I didn't feel like someone had my back. So I never wanted to feel this way. And I made sure y'all
Yeah. So with that, I know we kind of touched on how we saw things as children and then what we try to instill in our children. Do you think sometimes, even like I said, I don't give Jasmine too much access to social media. And if I actually am showing her anything on social media, we're going through the app together. And so I like to know what you're looking at. And so, but let me God is pray let you get on this. She downloaded she had Instagram hit on her phone and didn't know I knew. And then her still behind friended me.
I tell a kid all the time, baby,
You
I done
moving
done
too
this
fast.
already. Exactly.
What
You
you
done
do?
this already.
So
And you have an observant mom, so just don't do it. Just
I
come to
said,
me.
so, and I tell her all the time, when you're sneaking behind my back, you have access to everything. When you had Instagram, I didn't mind having Instagram. It was the time in which you are not to be on these things at school.
Right.
So when I'm looking at your thing, it says your time limit, and it says you spent 30 minutes on Instagram during school. I don't know if you read it on class time or lunchtime, but either way it go, during school hours, it's not permitted. So I blocked it.
Yeah.
But then you found a way to download it through the Google. Oh, these kids, okay.
Oh,
Right. So then there's these other apps connected to Roblox and Minecraft that you can get access to those games.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done the time right now to say,
I don't remember.
yeah, raising
Okay.
children right now in this day and age is a lot.
Yeah.
Like I got out, I feel like I got out at the nick of time, like literally. But again, at that time, when Taylor was like 16 and 17, people thought she was weird. She listened to New Edition, Guy, The Temptations, Atlantic Star.
So she come in, Mr. Nika, can I put this on?
Exactly. And then she wanted to sit down and learn. And okay, mama, you want to see cousin so and so? I just hang around the elders in my family. Right. Yeah, I'm going over there and tell her I want to go there too. It was to the point her friends liked what we were doing in our home better because we just like I didn't let the church was 30 and she'll still play with baby. Just I wanted to keep their innocence as long as I could. So, like you said, we had the board game. They didn't get a game until Tierra was 13 and Trevor was 9. They didn't, and Taylor didn't even want to play. Now Trevor's in the game because her fiance is in the game. So I get that, but I tried to steer them away from certain things, but when they became teenagers, social media had just come out. No one had really done the statistics on how's it going to affect kids 5, 6 years down the line.
Oh, that's serious.
So that's why I commend you for keeping that from Jesse, because if I had my middle daughter got social media at 30, I would have waited till 18 and not do about it. No, but learning now what I know now, I can just drop those nuggets on them.
What do you think about like the role of parents as far as like when we talk about the communication aspect, like cluing them in on certain topics? You remember when like I remember hearing, I don't know if my mother actually said it to me, but I've heard other parents say, don't worry about that right now. You need to think about that. But if a child asks you a question about something that you consider to be adult, I feel like it was the appropriate time to say, well, shit, if you ask it, I'm going to tell you. Because I want to actually give you instructions.
Answering, I'm going to give them the answer now. I'm going to give it to them on the age level.
Okay.
So at 10, if you ask me what is oral sex, it is something consensual between two adults. That's what I'm going to tell you. But when she turns 17, I pull that banana out and show her how to do it. So please come back. Yeah, it is what it is. I want her to do it right. I ain't got time for you biting people and all that. So that's what I did, Oh, but if they ask, I'm going to tell them. It is what it is. I'd rather it come from me than out in the street or your friends tell you wrong. And it got to the point her friends would come to me. And then I did this. Sweetheart, I'm not going to tell you this. I'm talking to Kelly. If you're hearing you hear it, that's not my issue. Because they would have questions for me.
You know what's funny is because I've never told my mom, but she dropped us off. It was always like a clique of about 8 of us of girls, and then it'd be like 6, 7 guys. And most of them were all dating, right? And one of the guys, his mom was like, "Hey, y'all come hang out. I order y'all pizza. Y'all can watch a movie." Do you know what she ordered though? Playboy.
Wait, what?
You know, I'm like, how exciting! I'm like 13.
Did she? Hold on. Did she need to do that, or was it?
Let me clue you in before she even started. So let me explain something to y'all. Baby, I was shook.
I was shook now.
Let me see. I had to been about 14. I was shocked, but let me tell you, I'm 9th grade, so yeah, 14, almost 15. And I think the guys, they were juniors, sophomores, we all are like.
So they're curious more so than you were.
I ain't gonna lie. It's not that I'm curious because, like I said, I was hurt as a child. I was familiar with what was going on,
right?
But not in the way in which it was appropriate as a child. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So my thing was, hold up. Like all I could say was, I'm gonna tell you
what did you say.
So she said, "Let me tell y'all know I'm gonna be out here getting the wrong information. This is the that."
So Playboy was what?
Hello. So tell me, I was the most awkwardest kid because I stayed in the kitchen with the pizza.
You know what though? You want to strike this. Something in your mind said this is the right. And that's good.
I'm watching everybody from the door to the kitchen. I'm like, everybody wants some Sprite? Everybody wants some food talkie? Hold on, she left.
She put the movie on.
And then she left. She went on a date.
That they were going to be curious because their bodies on the moving and doing stuff.
Girl.
Are you serious? Oh, that's true.
So I was like, well, I don't know because I don't know how much my mother knew. You know what I'm saying? Because, the parents would talk, but you don't know all the conversations because it's parents are talking. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, so
who am I? One hour.
But see, I already talked to my mama, so I couldn't say that to her. You know what I'm saying? It was like, especially if I ain't never told her the hurt that I experienced as a child, younger than that. So what do you think I'm comfortable telling her anything? You know what I'm saying? So,
and I would hold my mother at that age. I think during that time she was divorced. I felt like she was.
Yeah.
Well, why did you leave out? They're not gonna follow the adult. get on the dog.
Yeah, yeah. So I say, let me think. Jasmine, think, okay, so I gotta tell this story. It's always funny to me. Jasmine was about 7 or 8, and I used to work at a bookstore in college. And so I got children's encyclopedia. I got the almanac, all that type of stuff. So I would teach her, and I've been teaching her since she was born. So that's why she's a year and a half ahead of school.
All right.
So I remember he'd be like, I know you ain't gonna do this right now. Like, shoot, she's a child, she's learning, she's very well spoken. I'll make sure she knows what she's doing. So I said, we're gonna start at the beginning and talk about atoms and molecules and compound ions and you know, and then it would talk about how right. So then it would talk about how the atoms molecules create forms, and then it eventually talk about the anatomy of a human being. So of course there's a man on one side, woman on one side. That's a man, that's a male. That's a woman, that's a female. Then she was like, the male has the breast. Women have breasts, but men don't have breasts like women. You know, she's doing that. Then she goes, men have a penis. I said, oh, yes. She said, it's I said, no, but it is. I said, it's with the long E sound. This is like a long E sound, the capital E. So she goes, a P there. So then she's like, okay, and the woman has a. I said, it's just lowercase. I said, no, it's a vagina, like a J sign. And I said, okay. She said, so the two together create another unit, right? So then she says, mommy, it's not like they say Adam and Eve, you know, came from a rib, but if there's a woman, did it really come from a rib? I was like, you know, so we would have the conversation. And I could see this grown man cringing because it's awkward to have a conversation that you couldn't have with your own parents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So imagine I'm teaching my daughter to have this conversation with me, and now you over here like, because you've never had. So some people look at you awkwardly for the relationship you have with your children because they're not having a relationship.
Yeah, and you will be surprised at the people that have an issue. And which I find crazy, but that's their issue.
Yeah.
A lot of people said I was wrong how to put a condom.
I mean, you
they
should.
Said I was, and glad I did, because when my daughter did have her first encounter, they were both virgins. She had no. So just envision if I wouldn't have taught her,
they would have been doing anything with a baby.
No, wouldn't have got no choice. I'm just saying, you know. So I'm glad I did. Yeah, being that faithful banana. Okay. Banana and a regular hot dog. I said, because all of them don't look like, and you have to be able to adjust to all. And I told them how to put it. That's I mean, at some point, I'm going to educate them. Yes, and that's what I was gonna say. Sometimes it is, as much as people say it's weird, but if you know that your children are already having questions and contemplating, I'd rather you be knowledgeable. And I'm not coaching you to go do it. No, but I want you to be prepared. I always let you know there are always reactions. Yeah. I told my children, you are should not have sex for health care for yourself, and you can take it. You can't do that. You might sex card. I can't make it. But just remember, if you mess up, you're going to have to find money for this abortion, or you're going to have to figure out how you're going to rock the baby. Yeah. And I'm going to be an unfit person because I was a fit mother. So I don't plan on taking care of the baby. It's your baby. Okay. Oh, I'm tell me wrong. You're like, I'm done. Want my advice? I don't even try to give it to them. You know. Yeah, I got you, but if I see you doing stuff, I really wouldn't do that. But you do you. But I would, and this is why. Because I remember when Jasmine was in middle school, 6th grade, and she said the kids would have a conversation about sex. She said she would exclude herself. She's like, "Excuse me, but I'm going to go finish my lunch by the window and read my book." Or she said, "I'm here to." Yep. This was mom. She said it was awkward because she said I knew that some of them were having sex. She said I'm not interested in that. Taylor thought everything was just 17. Treasure was more curious. Tierra was curious, but Tierra had friends doing some off the wall things. Tierra had friends from another culture. So they were
Okay.
doing a lot different. Their parents, their moms were a little more
Free.
open to certain things.
Okay.
I was free for African American, for a black time. I was very free, but it's still certain things for protecting yourself. So I'm not really sure her conversations on things like that, but I know for a fact Taylor was out. She wasn't but once she did, oh, it was all she was ready. Mama, can I have my pen? Because I buy that first box. Then after that, like I said, you can't afford this head.
Okay.
So
The healthy parenting. People might be like, "Oh, that's weird," but I'd rather the way I feel about it is not necessarily in comparison to men, but if men are going to tell their sons, "Hey, I got time to do
exactly.
we should be teaching our daughters to protect themselves the same way." You know what I'm saying?
So again, I'm from Baton Rouge. What a lot of people don't realize is for maybe 10, 15 years, Baton Rouge, I did not say Los Angeles, I say New York. I didn't even say Houston. I said Baton Rouge, number one for new HIV and AIDS for about 10 years. New
Really?
Orleans, number two.
Really?
So you got there right there in that community, and you think I'm not gonna teach my babies how to protect themselves because you don't put your health in the hands of someone else. So come on, don't be ashamed. Come on, let's go down here to this Walmart, to Walgreens, and if you're really ashamed, go to a convenience store and let me show you what you're trying to get. Because your mama can't wear lifestyle. So 9 out of 10, you can't use lifestyle. Yeast infection, then you're gonna want to fight the man, think he didn't get you stuff. So let's go over in these Trojans, a little more price, and let's so that's why I live in the city with the number one HIV and AIDS cases, and they were number one rapidly with African American women from the age of like 17 to 39. But about 10 years back, we was number one for the statistics. So yeah, I taught my baby. Yeah. Now what they do now, that's all. But they can't say
that. See, that's where I was leading into the conversation about. I see well, I don't know this topic, but sexual partners. Like when people are talking about I've slept with multiple partners, have you shared with your daughters or talked to them about the responsibilities that come with having multiple partners? Like how lose parts of yourself to all these different people, and then you gave parts to other people from their relationships.
Yes, and I talked to my daughter, but I believe in energy. I believe if that person's depressed or they're emotional, I feel like if you lay with them, especially unprotected, skin to skin, I believe that trouble can come to you. They're depressed, they're suicidal. I just feel like that stuff is like it's like a glass with juice in it. You can drink all the juice, but you know it's gonna be a little bit of stuff in the bottom of that cup. So I just feel like that happens. You have sex with people and you connect with them. So I told them, I showed them my list. I have a list written down first, last name to each person. I did that again at a certain age. So know that at 10. They didn't find time to that. Once they turned 17, they started hearing a lot of stuff about mom that they were probably like, huh? Yes, that's yeah, but you weren't supposed to know. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I showed them the list and I showed them, I said, this is why I have these issues I had. So I can't tell you what I was highly I don't yeah. Because it's not even work. Yeah. If I could go back, something to do let alone my body. Do you think you operated? I'm gonna be honest. I know sometimes I operated out of loneliness, longing for acceptance. And then of course naturally feeling like I love the person, but not knowing that they didn't love you. I didn't know how to love. I didn't love myself when I did it. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm with you. You took me to a nice dinner, so this is how I feel like take. Not knowing that I'm worthy of it. I'm worthy of it. And not knowing that I can provide this best life for myself and him. Yeah. So it's not I owe him anything. I didn't owe him. So that's why I started teaching them. Don't operate. I teach my daughter, you cannot require someone if you can't provide. You know, I hear them now. I hear this man need to pay my truck, no, my car note. Like I told my daughter, if no, why you expecting him to pay your car? It is what it is. Do you want your father like this? You know, but also know you are worthy to have that person that's there to help you and be your helpmate and be if they genuinely want to do it without an ulterior motive. Exactly. So I've learned that as I talk to my daughter, she has it's so good. And so I tell her, you know, I ask her questions, and I tell her, I said, I'm asking because I want to be able to protect you for what you may not know. And so you can assume, but I'm not saying all guys are like this, but you cannot assume that what you're going to do, he's going to equally exchange the same energy that you're giving out. You might think, oh, I love him, I care about him, but what if his mind is on the implanted? I just want to get something to go. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or some guys want to trap a woman because they want to be tied. Because women do it to me, and men do. I hear. I give her a baby. I did not know that until recently. Taylor was telling me some of her dating experience. Yeah, man, I already had like 3 kids. She was like, "Yeah, I want to give you a baby," and luckily she was smart. Why would I want to have a baby? Baby number 4, like she's like red flag. That was a good question. That was a good question. I didn't trust it. So I'm glad that she stayed. I'm glad that we've given her enough attention where that attention just did not blow her mind. Yeah. You know, she's like, that's my baby. 19 is my best way. Yeah. So that's smart. That's good. I'm thankful you have the conversation. Oh, because their dad is, and I'm lucky. Their dad does have conversation. Very rough. If anyone's watching this podcast, y'all probably think I'm rough, not even compared to that. But he tells them all the time, "You're the good parent. I'm the mean parent." Oh, like good cop, bad cop. Right. But I think it's because we didn't have sons. So he's very rough. Like instead of saying, you know, sweetheart, don't give your body away. Don't be out there being no hoe. Like, you know, yeah. But you know what? He cutthroat. Sometimes some people need that. Because sometimes if you're passive, some kids look over like, Shelby. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if they know it where y'all came from and how y'all dealt with things, I think they get it. You know what I'm saying? And they're getting equal balance of two. Yeah, I agree with that part. But I'm to the point with them now. Like once I told you, yeah, because I used to sleep at night. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't sleep good. Her, she should do da 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 da, and she did it when she felt like how they wanted. And I'm thinking I'm losing sleep, and she's still doing what she want to do. So once I tell her, hey, go ahead, hey, and don't come calling me for certain things because I'm not coming because you didn't have it. I've already told you. I can fix anything. I fix it all, but certain stuff I'm putting back fixing now because y'all 29, yeah, y'all grown there. Y'all know them. So figure it out. Yeah. I think I'm at that point somewhat with Jazz. You know, in high school, I tell her, your grades is dependent on you. There's nothing I can do about that. It's your work. That's the way the teachers are asking you to solve it. It's the same way we figured it out at 83, 84, 85, 87, 89. Yeah. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to. We had to just hire a tutor. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, she had a tutor even when she was in homeschool. But now that she's back to regular school, this is her second year back from homeschooling for 2.5 years. I felt like, well, shoot, what they're asking for, I can't even explain it because it doesn't look like the math that we were back. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, what I noticed that as a mother, I spent a lot of time talking. I spent a lot of time nurturing and loving. We actually, and I posted this over the last week or two about the amount of hugs that she received a day to relieve stress. We do this when we want to hug. Really? We do this. And then what's funny is she still hugs me the same way she did when she was a toddler. She still pats me. She hugs me. And it's funny. There's certain things that she does that I'm like, you still the same baby. And so she realizes too, every now and then she'll walk up to me though. Because she's like, I just want to go. And it helps relieve stress. It helps relieve a lot of stress. It helps you comfort, it gives you a piece of safety. And I want her to know that you have that here.
So when you're looking for something, no, my mama got it. Or I could ask my dad.
Okay. So are you prepared for that time when they don't?
Oh, I get that too. I get that. I get some resistance. But she's like, I don't need that. I got it. I can do it myself.
That's hard.
And the reason why I say it is hard, but I think I'm okay. I'm working on it, but I think I'm okay because I'm so used to what I say birth. Since birth. Even when she was in my room, I would read her this one book. If I picked it up and started reading it, she would mumble the words as if she knew what I was saying. Really? And then she goes, Where's that? So a lot of the books and things that I've done for her since she was a kid, there's things we won't get rid of. They're like family heirlooms to us now to pass on to children if she chooses to have children. But I feel like for me, when she says something about I got it, like we got her bank account, checking account, savings, and all of that. She got her cash app card, her bank card to be here to do it. It's just the thought of her independence. I got for it. And I fall back, but it's a part of me be like, let me do it. I'll be like, you hold on.
I guess my thing is if I'll fall back, they're gonna do high savings. But when they don't, that kind of hurts me because
it still hurts. It's like I knew it would have been done right.
Exactly. And then normally it doesn't go right. And I don't want to be right all the time. It doesn't go right, and then I have to fix it. When if you would have listened in the beginning,
they gotta learn from
then I understand.
And long as it ain't nothing too bad, like something you can't come back from, like a legal trouble.
Right now, it's like if they can't come back from it, I've done my part. Like I've done my part, and then they know mama is ride or die, but I need to know what we ride.
No, I need to know die from
exactly. Now, if you want to do some crazy like rob a bank, they know I'm not coming, and they know I'm gonna call Crime Stop. Oh, you're not gonna have to be here. This is not I know. Yeah, but if it's some serious stuff that went down that you had no control over and you were wrong, then I'm there. So I'm starting to adjust to my God. That's what I'm really done.
Yeah. So when she says that, kind of just like it's not necessarily a chill, but it's almost kind of like my baby. And I tell her all the time, but I say my favorite girl, she repeats in the whole wide world.
Oh, I like that.
I said, be your best, be my best, do great, be great. Like if you know how to finish the sentence, you know what I expect. Yep, exactly. So in everything you do, give it excellence. If it's not done in excellence, that means that's not what I taught you. So whatever your spirit is lacking, there's something in there that I know I didn't contribute to. You know what I'm saying? So I know that now she's in that space of figuring things out. She likes to journal. She puts things in her calendar. For her birthday, I got her this affirmation book, and in the morning, I make her give me 2 or 3 affirmations before she gets to school. Yeah. We do our regular prayer and before we drive off, and our little scripted routine. And when she was a toddler, the scripted routine was longer. But now that she got older, you already know now, no hitting your body, listen to the teacher, all of that stuff. That we cut that out. That was the early childhood of mine. Now
that was the foundation.
Yeah. So now it's kind of like, hey, I know I put the tools in your head. So at some point, I told her, once you turn, I don't even like to say 18. Let me get you past 21. At least 21. Maybe 25. But if you're still in my house, you still got room to go. But at some point, there's going to be space for you to start figuring things out on your own, and I'm not going to be able to hold your hand. Exactly. Like paying your car note, even if I bought you a car, I would say you got to pay for it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you got insurance, if you got a car note, but then you pay the insurance, I pay the car. Right. So I'm giving you responsibility. At some point, even if you live in my house, as you got older, we talk about it. As your hairstylist for your mom, you owe me $25 for every appointment. Just so you know how to pay for what you're getting. Yeah. You're not going to expect it. I know I'm your mom, but I'm a stylist, but at least say, Mom, here's 25. And guess what? It'll go into your savings. She won't know that, but I will have something put up. Yeah. So in a bit of emergency, her money is being taken care of. That's it.
Those are some of the things that I think are connected. Yeah. I don't think my I'm not sure. I know for a fact my dad tell him that she loves him. He was diagnosed over my because the doctor told social worker told me that cancer patients need to hear.
Oh, of course.
They just weren't raised up. So I know for a fact that's my grandmother dad. I don't think so. I, she never.
Oh no, I tell my baby I love you all day. I'm like, Dad, like, huh? I'll be in here. She's like, I said, what are you doing? I love you. Love you too, Mom.
Yeah, I wake up, I get up and go.
Yeah,
That's what I want to do. Yeah,
I do all that.
if I'm cleaning the kitchen and I'm putting the food up, why not fix her lunch? Because I'm already in the
Already in
kitchen.
prep mode. Clean
Right.
up.
I'm already I'll Tierra gets off work, I'm going to pick her up. I may have a snack for her. So because I know my child. Tierra doesn't eat before she goes to work. So I may have a rice cake or something for her when she gets the car because I know she already and I'm gonna make sure dinner's cooked because I know she's not procrastinating child.
Like,
So
oh,
she
shoot,
gonna
I
get
should
up
ate
an
something.
hour before her shift. She gonna take 45 minutes to get dressed and then speed like hell the last 15 minutes. I know my child. So I never say what they will or won't do, but I have a general idea.
What you could say about what you observed from your mother, whether learned or observed, how do you think your children will look at you as their mother? Like, oh, as they get older and become grown women, have children of their own, what do you think they would say? Like, my mama made sure, or my mama did, or she reminded me that. What is maybe one thing you could think your children would say about you?
That one thing they always say is that they know I'm always they'll say, you know, I
Yeah,
because like I said, and that stems from me not feeling good. So
yeah,
I don't ever want to feel like I'm here. Even if you're wrong, I'm not gonna do it in front of you. I'm gonna pull you to the side. In front of people, we're united. Team, so it is.
yeah.
But when we get to the side, now
Okay.
you know,
Right.
just how that's going. You know,
Yeah.
that's just that. I feel like they'll show their kids genuine unconditional. And
So would be.
yeah,
Yeah.
always. Like
So there's a difference between just saying I love you and actually showing them.
I'm their biggest. Literally, I'm their biggest cheerleader. I will never get together. So I I, I do that for the past. But I just told her my opinion on it. But then I'm riding with the baby, the mom took her on my car, and then when that didn't go well, I ripped that stick off the car. What you want to do now?
Okay.
I like kids. Okay, then so let's go to care.com.
Yeah.
We're gonna set you up an account. I'll pay for your background check. You can do what you like. And literally that's treasure. My baby can cook. Treasure can cook. Treasure can do hair. Treasure can do nails. Treasure can do medical. But I also know my baby is not consistent when it comes to hair and nails. See, my baby can make it's homecoming coming up, or she gonna make enough money to get a homecoming outfit and go to the club. People might not find out for 2, 3 weeks if they have done after that. So I just know what that's not how you medical feel, how you like to that's your yeah. So that's her lane. That's her niche. That's her thing. And I'm here for it. Oh, you want me to provide it? Well, let's go. I went there. I got the picture, but she was poking me trying to find the vein. I'm here for it. Sierra, that's my fashionista. That she can tell you about fashion. I think it's fashion week in Milan somewhere right now. She all parents. She owns it. She can tell me who this person is, who that is. I have learned these people, but that she wants to what book wise, Tierra, your aunt is my smartest child book wise. I just why have a lawyer. She can debate like a mom instead of home. There's something she want to do fashion elders. I do that.
Like, wait a minute. I thought we had another plan. What was the path?
Yeah, but you know what I did? Like,
yeah.
I got us. I'm here because it's their journey, it's their path. I wanted all of them to finish college because I did. That's my biggest goal. I love Southern University, but I need to go back and finish. I wanted them to do. That's just not the way that they told folks. So
Mhm.
the took trade school here at community college right now, and then she's gonna go off to FIT. Taylor just said, "Hey, my little school ain't for me. I don't even want to take it." Okay, cool. You don't have, but I had to find that when they found their niche, then I'm here to support it. As long as they want trying to be no, y'all, I'm not about to sit up. This is not funny, but it's true. Even one time, Taylor said, "I'm gonna be a stripper just to get the experience, just to see what it's like." I said, "Okay, cinnamon, where we going?" Because technically, it's a legal job. How is that even? It's
No,
not illegal.
you know they used to have a license.
Yeah, it's a one. So yeah, I'm like, okay, but here's the deal. Not going out here, so you gonna get some high tech clients. If we're gonna find your upstairs strip club, and mom's gonna be right there with you. Make sure you get in and out the car safe, things like that.
Yeah.
But anything illegal or no, I'm not with that. I'm not. But I got you. I literally got you until the day you just totally disrespect me and just, I don't want you. For chances, I hate you. So but
Yeah.
until then, and I'm right there.
That has a vast interest in a lot of things. But I tell them, take the time to figure. A lot of people think you go straight up to college and have a career in mind. I said, baby, you got letters for at least 8, well now probably 12 different schools in the last year.
And
You're only a
sophomore.
sophomore.
That's it.
And then on top of that, you got study abroad programs offered to Spain, Europe,
Yeah.
all different places. And now you're trying to figure out what shoot. I said, baby, you're interested in cooking. You like crocheting and knitting. You like dance. I tell her you can go to college if you want to.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't want to.
Exactly.
But it's just like, and that's what she said. So I told her, she was like, well, I do want to consider the schools that I'm getting offers to. She always said she interested in Ivy League or HBCU, of course. I even told her Prairie was cool, but you can always pick your choice. I would take you to go check out every school you go to.
I bring it up.
So all at the end of the day, I'm proud of her because I want her to know. Let me know what the plan is.
Exactly.
Because if I'm gonna put money up when you go to school,
right,
that's what the plan is.
Exactly.
Or even still, whatever money I put up, I need to know if it's a business plan. Have that prepared before I hand it.
Exactly. And if the plan changes, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, Tarsha went to cosmetology school for 45 days, culinary arts school for another 45 days. And finally, I said to her, okay, look, this is. I say, you can do what you want to do, but I always tell them, you go to school and stick with it, I'll pay for it. The minute you drop out, I'm not paying for long. That's on you. So do what you're gonna do, and that's fine. But you're gonna have to figure something out. So probably about that 10th or 11th trade school, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take you to school and pick you up. But now I'm not getting out of my bed. You're gonna have to sit at class early, it's school early, and I'm gonna take you when I go to work. And you're out of school before I get off. Yes, you're gonna have to wait. I'm not inconveniencing myself because now you play. Yeah. But I still was there and supported. But when I did that, she got her medical certification. Then she went back to her.
So you had to make a step back.
Yeah, I had to make a step back. I'm here, but I'm not. That is that. And I do it to all of them. Okay, this is it. Well, I take that back. I did not have to do as much with Taylor because Taylor is an observer. Okay,
so she's been watching.
That's
it.
Okay, mom and dad told me to do this. They didn't do that. That didn't work. Okay. Well, my sister said this and it worked. And mom and dad said no, but it worked for my sister. So I'm gonna try that. So that's what she does. She's an observer. So I don't have to tell her because she pretty much sees what everybody else is doing and she pays attention and also she listens. Yeah. So it's cool. That's just her journey and her path. Yeah. And her biggest thing is don't journey rough. So if y'all can make it possible, I'm a list. Okay. Yeah. But that sometimes happens. Sometimes the oldest children like they had it easy. There's always trial and error with the first time. Always. Because nobody knew what it was going to be like raising a baby. Sometimes the babies can be the baby out of hell. You know what I'm saying? The crier, the whiner, the one that caused trouble, toe up some stuff. Then you got the one that comes along like, okay. I'm very fortunate because I have bad kids, but I never spoke that open. Right. Like I hate that saying that my broke BFF. No, I don't. that over my baby.
Jasmine be having more money than me half the time. I'm like, baby,
you see us on Instagram at Applebee's the other time, they still about slide her card. I never spoke those things over. So I never spoke over them. Oh, she bad. Oh, she bad. No, she bad. My children have always been active. They're gonna be the children at the party that's trying to play trying to hit the pinata. That's just them. They were always active kids. And I'm very fortunate that my kids were always active and respectful. From the oldest person in our family down to the baby in our family. They love me. And I'm very blessed that I did something right because people love these girls. Look how you are behind Taylor. So that's a blessing that I did something right to where people gravitate to them and love to love on them, see them, to help them. So I know I did something. I got something correct. If people want to pour into them.
I feel like at the end of the day, when I deal with other people's children, I'm gonna love on them like I love my baby. I ain't gonna put my hands up. I don't care if a person say you can whoop them. That ain't my job.
Yeah.
But when it comes to speaking life to children, I don't care who's around.
Yeah.
Them children need to hear from what I call the village, from old school.
Yeah.
I need to know that, hey, you gonna say the right thing. You gonna feed my child a good word. So if the child asks for something, like Taylor asked me something, I was like, you might want to ask your mother. All I remember saying that, I don't remember the conversation now, but I remember I was like, oh, ask your mom. Because I said, I don't ever want to, like, I'm telling somebody, child, to do something that their mama wouldn't agree with. I don't think it was anything bad, but I was like, oh.
Yeah, see, you know what I'm saying? At certain avenues, I'm not going to go down. But I'm going to always treat people's children like, I'm going to treat your child as well as your child allows. There you go. Like when I come in your door, where's your ass at? Let me speak to her because I want her to know, hey, Miss Tarsha here. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Or she wants your second opinion.
That's what I'm saying.
You see how she got it.
I want you to always know Miss Tarsha might do somebody for special, for unique, because I know that's how I want to. I want to have that effect on my kids.
Speak life.
Exactly.
Think about this. Sometimes though, even with children, especially if we speak life into them, they feel like, but you're my mama. You're supposed to do that.
Oh man, like
so that. Even with Jazz, I could tell her something and I'll be like, well, the daddy should do the same thing. Not like how I do it, but along the same lines, speaking life into you or doing whatever it takes to feed you and uplift you. Now, when I come into contact with other people and people like, baby, I don't mind. I have clients that give her money. I have clients that pay for stuff. I have friends that literally like, oh, I got you. I'll sponsor that. I'll take care of it. Exactly. And I feel like at the end of the day, we all need that because sometimes I don't like to call myself a single mom. I'm a mama that's single. Okay? Yeah. I'm self-sufficient. I'm expected to take care of my bills. So therefore, I would never say I'm independent. It's my job to take care of myself. Yeah. So I would dare not want to speak to my child and like, oh, you're not capable of here. It's my job. Exactly. But even if it's my job, when other people do it, I want her to know that people actually see the light.
Exactly. And being thankful, they don't have. Yeah. I never forget. Again, they always got to be people. They always got to be things. I think I vicariously had to do things because I wanted it and I didn't get it. Mm-hmm. So I feel for that sweet 16, it never fails. Every year somebody, like 1 year, someone, one of my cousins paid for years DJ. One of my other cousins paid for cake. I mean, just for Taylor, somebody paid for. People are always doing something, and they're grown now. But what I like is that when I found out my daughter called her godmother just out the blue, hey nanny, how like one day she sent her some money to that deal. And I'm like, that's what's up, treasure. You did very well. I found out my children called my cousin, who's like a aunt to them, but she's my cousin. I called and checked on her. Well, I did something right, y'all. Yeah. So I love. Yeah. I love. And that's sometimes that's like we had to tell people things. We had to call and tell. If people sent us something, oh, children don't say things. We had. And that's just how I raise.
It's a sign of respect, and I think sometimes now, in some of this new generation, respect is lacking.
Look what they watch.
It's lacking. I noticed that uh actually a couple times last week Devin said what? I said, excuse me? Oh, ma'am, I mean yes, ma'am. You know, and I'm like, you get too lax, get too relaxed. I don't know where it came from, but you better get it together. She walked through the door, she goes, like she clutching her pearls, like yes. It just flew out my mouth. Don't let that dust fly.
So with mine, I noticed that it's to me, it's some of these things they're seeing on social media. And I don't want to call these people names because right now I may want to run for president one day, and I just don't need podcast coming up later on.
Like, but it's kind of glimpse.
Exactly. It's just certain things that they see now. I'm thankful that my children didn't gravitate to some of that. They're confident within themselves. They're confident enough to cover up.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Certain things they're just not about to let. It's just certain things on different things they're seeing, podcasts, music, on TV. They come back to me. What so and so said? It's no way I let a man.
Oh my goodness!
So I'm thankful.
The music, my baby will tell you, she's like, I don't want to hear that. I'm gonna turn it off. And it's funny because I don't listen to it, but as soon as it came out, she's like, yeah. Certain songs. Yeah, I mean, I promise you, my gym playlist, it's all mostly like Texas people. Anybody rapping from Houston? All right. I'm gangsta all day in the gym. Everybody watch me. I mean, so I get a question. Oh, that be not play that, and it would be. So I'm teaching her because her daddy, was producing music. So I used to sing on some tracks in the background, and I could see her finding like in the car. I tell her the little speakers in the top are your tweeters. Those are the ones you hear the small little chimes and stuff in the background, the tweets and the little peaks and all of that stuff. Then when you hear the bass knock in the back as you see the bass, you got your hi hats and the snares. Okay, I was a band. So and so one of the things I learned, even being in the producer, and producing and stuff like that, I'm learning that even my baby has an ear producer. And I have a video that I shared on Facebook where she was actually doing the scale. 2 years old in her room on punishment. And she, and it was funny because the guy was there at the time he recorded it. He said, I kept hearing this little sound. He said she knew all the toys were locked up. She was going to punch because she wouldn't clean up. So I said, I'm going to lock them up. And I've taught her early on, you don't do your part, you cannot have. You can't get more of what you're not already appreciating. And so I remember seeing the video and she's climbing up in the chair. And I'm at work, on work weekend. And he saw I watched her climbing in the chair. And I sung the choir at church. I was one of the worship leaders, all that type of stuff. And I'm just watching this little person. And I'm like, so when we're listening to music, she picks up on all those little things. And I'm like, did you hear that? And it's this one part, this one song play over and over again. We go, doo, 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 doo. We'll be like, oh. And it's like, our shoulders bounce to that one little part. I noticed that in those moments, we're learning, like, we are basically the same person. She's just another version of me. And I learned also from her that even what I could say I don't like, she literally will tell you, like, yeah, you're right, that makes sense. That doesn't go there. Or what they're seeing and what they're talking about is not good for my ear. She actually plays affirmation music. She actually listens to podcasts. Real. She'll be like, Mom, I checked out this podcast the other day. My baby girl is very mature for just now turning 15. And it's not to even say, oh, she's not trying to be a kid. Oh, she's still like color draw paint. That's it. That's crossword puzzle. But you raised her old with the touch of modern. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So, you have to. We had to create our own. Yeah. Because by the time we got to men did. I mean. Yeah. I mean, it is. Family therapy is so new. Yeah. And therapy definitely. And some things for my children, I did not get everything right. We have our days and ways. Well, I would never sit here and paint the picture like I'm Patty Perfect. Oh, no. I'm perfect for me. I'm done some things that I could handle differently with them. That I, even as a adult now, certain things I couldn't handle differently. But
At the end of the day, you have to get your own blueprint for what works best for you and your children, not someone else. And you can take that previous blueprint of us and just kind of get the pieces that'll fit into your new foundation.
Yeah, that's good. Girl, I ain't even got the clothes out with that. Okay, so yeah, it's as parents, as mothers, and of course as raising daughters, I feel like it's imperative that we spend time with them and help them see our mistakes and learn from our mistakes. And then sometimes children may say, "Well, you made this mistake, but that means I made the mistake, so you didn't make the mistake." I didn't actually have the intention to go out and make failures that I made, but from that I learned a lot. So even when my marriage didn't work, which is fine, I learned a lot about why I should never got married, errors that I made in my marriage. Whether I go back and apologize to the man or not, at this point, he probably already felt like, I'm never going to get the apology. It's cool, it's whatever. But I also feel like, too, I own my shit. And so in that, I tell her, mommy wasn't perfect. You know what I'm saying? I have my flaws. I'm far from perfect. And I'm never going to identify with perfect because at the end of the day, if I was perfect and you were perfect, we would all be doing the same going thing because the plan would be the same person, same exact action. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're all different and unique. So when you have these moments, um, I model to her that you learn from your mistakes and then you move forward. And if you don't learn anything, that means you're avoiding the truth.
Okay, now they realize it's denial.
Yeah.
And not the real.
Okay. So it's dope. I think we've learned a lot. We watched our mothers do good things and now we parent our baby girls and I think I ain't gonna say I do the best that I can just to say it to myself, but I hear my daughter say it. And I think that lets me know I'm doing a good job.
Well, mine brings me to find a therapist. That's really right now, that's between jobs. Like, yeah, because I have some things I really need to hash out and some things I need to put behind me regarding my mind. Yeah. And it is what it is. It's affecting my relationship with my children. And I see that. So now I'm doing the work that I can do within myself, but I know I need out.
Yeah, because sometimes they help you see things, even though they can't like fix you. But what it is, as you're talking, they're going to help you see things that, even though you're processing up here to yourself, but when you spit it out and they say it back to you, go, that's it. Another That's it. That's it. We're gonna be back. We're gonna be back to chit chat it up.
I love it.
This was Mama May I discussing issues, topics that we've experienced as children, having mothers, being mothers to our baby girls, as well as watching our girls grow up and maybe possibly one day be a mother. So tune in next time as we get back to being for real, but let's be real podcast.